What is up, everybody? Then the End Zone is back in the building. Been a minute. I think it's been about 4 days since I posted my last clip talking about the woeful Dallas Mavericks, and think they've been at like 1-6 in their last 7 games, and they're playing a bad Pistons team tonight, so I'm hoping that they can squeeze out a win, but not what I'm here for. On this Wednesday, we got some more Eagles stuff to go over. We're going to be doing some live mock drafts again. Kind of finalizing and getting that out of the way. What I want to accomplish for these mocks is to kind of, as the title suggests, being the birds. In other words, putting ourselves, like, kind of legitimately putting ourselves in the shoes of the scouting department and Howie Roseman and whoever, with making these picks. So that's where the viewers come in. So you guys are basically going to be the scouting department, and we're going to collaborate as best as possible, make this kind of a almost like a real draft scenario. We're gonna run one mock, and we're gonna do this as best as possible for the Philadelphia Eagles for 2021 season and moving forward. We're not drafting for the present. It's definitely a draft for the future as well. I mean, you can't go in thinking that, we're just drafting for a better outcome for 2021. Like, Howie is kind of, he's pretty under the gun right now for this draft, especially. Deep wide receiver class, good consideration for the linebacking core, some decent linebackers. I think I don't necessarily want to call it deep, but it's considerable. It's not as deep as receiver. There's quite a bit of good running backs in there. Tight ends, not so much. There's only a few good tight ends that'll maybe make it to the third, and that's about it. I know some mocks have projected Pat Freiermuth, Baby Gronk, to even make it to round 3. I don't necessarily feel that that's going to happen. Defensive lineman, for the tackle perspective, not too many options. Defensive end is a little deeper in that respect. Guys like Kwity Paye in there. And that, it's the other guy's name that's escaping my mind right now. Jalen something. Can't remember the guy's last name. That's gonna bother me if I don't look it up. But man. So, see, it's already about 4 minutes in. You know what? I don't know what it's been. I guess I have to do a better job of advertising when I go live in the first place. I threw it up on Twitter and stuff like that. So, guess we'll see what happens here. I guess I'm not going to necessarily get into the complete detail of what I want to dive on until I get some sort of audience in here. I'll save it until I get some sort of audience on what I want to get into. But I'm not gonna I'm not going to sound like a broken record here with a lot of Eagles content creators discussing, their viewpoints on the obvious that has happened in the content creator community. I'm not going to go about it. I've shared I've shared some of my thoughts with I've shared some of my thoughts with other content creators and whatnot. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I mean, um, I'm pretty sure you guys already. I'm pretty sure you guys can pick up what I'm putting down anyway. But I'll just I'll just put it at the fact that this day and age with the way social media is and um, how much is available to you at your fingertips. It's pretty bad. I mean, I remember myself. Um, I remember myself growing up, being a '90s kid. This just didn't have this amount of technology available to me, and internet was just coming through, and what was it? When I got older, the scene was about it was about it was about Yahoo and AOL and just having um, you know quick messaging services there, and you add your friends that way through that, and then when you when you got older, you kind of evolved to MySpace, and but eh, over time it just got worse, and um, the age of social media. Like I said, there's just so much available to you, and from that perspective, it can get some it can twist some minds, definitely. It can definitely twist some minds, and um, it's not right. Point blank, it's not right. Not much, not much else I can really say about it. I've seen the stuff, but the verdict on the George Floyd murder today, and you know, not gonna. I mean, that's been the hot topic of today, other than what's been going on in the NFL and stuff like that, which I'll eventually get to here. But through through it all with what through it all with what's been happening, it's um, I'm glad that the verdict got to what it was. Obviously, um, big play Slay. What is going on? You're in the building, man. Yeah, we were in there with Philly Foothills. He had his live stream earlier today, talking to his buddy who's a Niners fan. He doesn't have his own channel or anything, which for the way that his friend talked, I think he's got it in him to make his own channel, and it's a good opportunity for him once his family gets all settled and everything. Fly Eagles TV. Good to see you in here. I know we don't converse very much. You like to come in on some of my Mavericks content and troll me about the Porzingis trade whenever we do bad. So as far as remembering you guys, it's kind of hilarious. But I mean, yeah, I started the stream talking about the Mavs and whatnot, and yeah, we're not in a good space right now, and neither is the 76ers for that matter, especially with injuries. Trying to call me a legend now. Oh my goodness, man. Nah, you talking guys like LB and Philly 500 and Philly Talk Podcast, guys like that who are a little bit more established. I'm not quite there yet. I'm not quite there. I got a long ways to go. But all I can do is keep this going, and you know give you guys the content. So I'll highlight Fly Eagles TV there, but I gotta, yeah, Fly Eagles TV. I gotta give it to your Knicks. I gotta give it to your Knicks. Y'all been playing pretty damn well. There was that kind of speculation with the way that Zion Williamson talked about the New York Knicks, that everybody's getting on that train thinking that, oh, maybe Zion eventually in the future would want to go to New York to play with his old teammate R.J. Barrett. I mean, you gotta let me know how you would feel about that if the Knicks picked up Zion, especially with the way that they're playing right now. With Julius Randle is coming into his own, and I mean, I don't know what to call that Knicks team, because it's, they had in the beginning of the year, they had an expectation like, oh, it's not that they're going to have a terrible record. They might be a little more competitive, but they'll still be bad in the Eastern Conference. And being at the East is trying to develop themselves as a powerhouse to compete with the West. People still thought of the Knicks being closer to the bottom of the barrel, but you guys have really dug yourselves from, trying to dig yourselves from the basement and getting a bit higher. So, kudos to you guys. I mean, yeah, I just did. I didn't expect Julius Randle to drop some 40 bombs, but it is what it is. It is what it is. And then Big Play Slay, I appreciate that, man. I'm still a legend, man. You know what? I mean, I guess for context, when I started this channel, I was very kind of for how much of an infant I was, I guess, in the content creator community of YouTube. I guess, if I can call it that. Like, I don't know. It was very awkward in the beginning, and just trying to find myself as a channel, I guess, and going from there, getting my setup a little bit better, and getting on StreamYard and making better videos, stuff like that. So I mean, I'm finally coming into my own, and there's just a few more things I want to figure out as far as my content goes, and I should be well on my way, even better than what I was in the beginning, or how I am now. So that's the way it's going to go. But since I got an audience now, we got to dive into this. Let's get into this. Let's get into this. I'm ready. So I hope some of you guys have watched the pre-mock press conference that went on today. And Andy Waddle was there, along with Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni. Let me see. You've earned my respect, even with you having the very little clarity you have now. You're still putting out great content into the universe, man. Jeez, oh, making me sound like I'm on an awfully high pedestal here, man. Shoo, that's some pretty that's definitely some pretty high praise, dude. I don't know, what do you want me to say from that? It's great. See, and I'm stuttering again, and I sound like Sirianni for a moment, but no, it's very it's inspiring, it's humbling, and again, I'm just appreciative of those kind of of that kind of feedback and those kind of compliments. It's just me being another regular guy, basically on YouTube, expressing my opinions on on my favorite sports teams, and then for it to carry a little bit, and for me to develop that kind of clout, then it's it's crazy to think about. Just like you one of those kinds of people that you get that group at work, and all you guys talk about is sports, and then you get into really you get into really good conversations and whatnot, or even just talking to everyday friends about sports, and for it to translate to a YouTube channel, and for other people to process it the same way that as you speak to your friends, and people agreeing with your viewpoints or opinions. It's been a humbling experience, on my end, no doubt. And just comments like that continue to be inspiring for me, just to just to keep this going. But man, crazy. So like I was saying, the pre-draft press conference that happened today, we had Andrew Weidl there, we had Sirianni there, and we had Howie Roseman there. Obviously, I guess you guys can assume how it turned out when when every time Howie was asked a question, he was he was predictably vague with it, and had his viewpoint on those questions. Obviously, just he's said a lot of stuff that is, like I said, it's he's said a lot of stuff that's predictable. And I posted to Twitter, and I says he's playing Howie Roseman was playing the role of a sore thumb again at the press conference. Like, it's like, what else is new? We're used to this. He always sticks out like a sore thumb, and it doesn't help that he sat in the middle between Sirianni and Weidl, so it looked even worse, like he was the center of attention. And there's questions, there's answers to questions that he's passing off to Weidl, or saying that or saying that Sirianni can answer it, and he just gets very vague. So it's like, what else? Like I'm saying, what else is new? Do you think Sirianni would go out of context because they want to draft a quarterback or make a push for one with the capital that they have? It is a good question. However, in my opinion, I just don't see I don't see a quarterback in the early rounds. I just don't. Like, for instance, if we go back to year 2 with Carson Wentz, and how they brought in Nick Foles as that seasoned veteran who was very familiar with the Eagles system already, whether it was through Andy Reid or Chip Kelly. But being that Doug Peterson was under the Reid tree, he had that nice familiarity in the offense and that. So Joe Flacco's a lot more. Joe Flacco's a lot more been there, done that, as opposed to Foles. Foles is only 32 years old. Flacco's 37. He's about as old as Aaron Rodgers. So in that respect, it's Flacco has seen enough to where he can easily adjust. And this is a situation where Sirianni is trying to go in a similar direction as to how it was at the start of the 2017 season. The team comes off 2016 with an okay record. I think there was like higher expectations, especially when you trade up to take a quarterback with the second overall pick, and you think he's the guy. And I feel that a lot of people had the Eagles that year going 10-6, and it didn't go as planned. So now, in that respect, I don't even watch Howie press conferences anymore. I mean, yeah, it's true though. That's how we feel as a fan base, because of such distrust that we have in the general manager. It's that we've gotten to the point where we almost where we kind of have to trust him no matter what, because he's still the general manager. He still has a responsibility on this football team. It's like coming up to the draft. we have no choice but to have faith in him, because it ultimately boils down to not just Howie's decision, but sometimes Jeffrey Lurie, sticks his nose where it doesn't belong, and then he wants to come in on decisions, a la Jalen Hurts. But but I mean, when it comes to the draft, we almost have no choice but to, have to put faith in this man, to hope that he drafts the right players. And I would have to imagine. I would have to imagine in some scenarios where he understands that, unless there was a under the table negotiation, like prior to the upcoming expiration of Howie's contract with Jeffrey Lurie, that they may have an extension in place, and it's it's based on Howie's performance this year. So I think in that respect, you still have to consider that Howie he is managing for his job, being that this is the last year in his contract. But as Eagles fans, we know how close of a bond that the owner and the general manager have, to almost guarantee an extension. So at that point, it's going to come down to whether Jeffrey, as an owner, puts business decisions first or friendships first. That's what it's going to come down to, and and it also comes down to how well Howie does. So I didn't. I mean, when I seen the conference today, I just thought, man, same old song and dance for Howie with with how he was going through these answers, and he and even in some of the questions where the Philly media was asking him, how he's learned from previous draft experiences to help enhance to help try to enhance his performance on this present draft or upcoming drafts. Hopefully not upcoming, as a lot of us fans don't want. But when he was, it's like he didn't really show. It's like he didn't really acknowledge. It's like he didn't acknowledge that the picks he made weren't good, and he also tried to say that the book for the 2020 draft class hasn't been written yet, and in cases respectfully so, but a lot of us still don't understand the Jalen Hurts pick to this day. But I have to assume that most of it's involving Carson's injury history and and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna. I don't want to keep bringing him. I don't want to keep bringing him into this, because he's gone. He's got the Colts to worry about. We got the Eagles to worry about. So. But yeah, big play Slay, man, killing it for me, dude. Yeah, keep hitting the like button. Yeah, definitely. But I mean, maybe I should start asking for likes, but I'm not that. I guess genuinely I'm not that kind of person. Like, the content that I put out, it's ultimately up to y'all whether you want to hit the like button or not. Just like I say in some of my videos, leave a comment or like it if you want, or whatever it be. And like I got down the banner right now, subscribe for more content if you like it. Let me know how it's going. Hopefully he going after this year, because his contract is exactly. So yeah, being that his contract is up after this season, that just adds to the conflict of, what we're hoping the outcome is going to be, as to, like, think about it. What if Howie actually has a good draft? What are we going to think of then? What if Howie Roseman actually has a good draft? These players pan out, and some of them down the road end up becoming starters sooner than later. If we decide to stay at 12, which it's still a possibility whether we trade back or trade up again. Those are still on the table, as Howie talked about at the conference today. He explained the idea of when he was asked like what was the ultimate decision as to why they traded back 212 from 6, and Howie's answer was simply the opportunity of flexibility. Flexible opportunities, as he called it. Actually, I said it a little bit backwards, but it means the same thing. So Howie explained that he traded from 6 to 12 for flexible opportunities. So you mean to tell me that, Ja'Marr Chase and Kyle Pitts were not that high on your draft board from the scouts? And even in cases where it's speculated Howie has his own draft board, our guy is Ja'Marr or Kyle that are they that? It's like, where are guys like that on your draft board, Howie? I just don't. Oh goodness. Oh geez, look at that. Night Inks says, "Do not worry, and I have arrived." Well, you are not necessarily all that late. I am coming up on 27 and a half minutes in, but it was slow going, so you did not necessarily miss much, Night Inks. Good to see you in here. We are just going over the latest news for the Eagles. We had the pre-draft press conference today involving the head coach and general manager, and Andrew Weidel was there as well. And just talking the idea, or just talking the concept about how Howie felt trading from 6 to 12 offered him more flexible opportunities. And in part, it's still, I get it. Especially the fact that, if you think about it, there had to be, obviously the offer was enticing enough for Howie to do it. If a first was automatically on the table for him to, trade down, then obviously that's kind of, it's tempting enough to not ignore. So we ended up getting the extra first round pick for next year. That was Miami's. And then we're still working on a conditional second that could turn into a first based on Carson's performance in this upcoming season. If he plays 70% of the snaps and the team makes the playoffs, or if he plays 75% of the snaps in the regular season. I think that's how the stipulations go. But either way, if any of those requisites are met, then that second turns into a first. So, I mean, I get it. Howie is trying to stack those picks. I get it. But, You know, you mean to tell me that guys like Ja'Marr Chase or Kyle Pitts weren't high enough on your draft board to not to not trade out of the sixth spot? Were they not high enough? Or does Howie know something that we don't know? That's the only other thing that I can think of as far as to other influences to trade from 6 to 12. So he has to have some kind of he has to have I would have to imagine he has to have some kind of intel as to on how to better paint the picture of how this draft is going to go, as to get some sort of idea as to which teams are taking whom. That's the only other thing I can think of as far as influence, not only of getting extra draft capital, but picks for the future. So what else? So let me see. My channel is just all kinds of dead right now. I still okay. Oh yeah, Nining's no big deal, man. No big deal. Hey, I know, been there, done that. I mean, I remember recently I was in like a mini hiatus, and I didn't post anything for almost a month. But it was for legitimate reasoning, like being out of town and the passing of the passing of a family member on my wife's side. So that was basically due to that. But yeah. Anyway, I guess I have to imagine I didn't pick a great time to stream either. I know Philly Mike and RB are doing the play-by-play for the Sixers and Suns game. They're kind of speaking of the Sixers, they're kind of handicapped right now with Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris not playing again against Phoenix. So it's going to be Embiid and the rest of the guys trying to battle Chris Paul and Devin Booker. So good luck to you guys. I think the Mavericks and Pistons game probably started or close to started. So I'm just hoping that we can end the losing streak. The thing is, mine isn't really legitimate. I'm just yeah, no. You know what? It happens. It just happens. It just. I don't know what it is. Like it ultimately comes down to how serious you want to take your channel. And I was at that point twice, I think, in in the beginning of trying to bring my channel up, and not necessarily having a more direct approach as to how I wanted to do things. And the more I invested in it, the better I got. Connect to StreamYard, got myself a webcam for better quality, direct connected to my router, so there's no internet issues, or because obviously Wi-Fi likes to fluctuate from time to time, stuff like that. So just those kinds of things. And it's just about keeping going. So I guess in the matter of that, I'm hoping to get more collaboration opportunities in the future. I've already been in some collabs with Philly Insider Podcast. Hunter's a really cool dude. I loved the live stream with them. It was already a month ago. It's crazy to think about. It was already a month ago. And my setup still wasn't the greatest, and stuff like that. So it's like, I had that. I've had two with Sports Talk with Let's Go Birds. Who else am I forgetting here? I don't think I had another. I don't think I had another collab. I think I only had a collab with 2 channels so far. Sounds about right. I think. Or am I forgetting one? No, no, I'm not forgetting one. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think it's only been with 2 content creators so far, but I've been in numerous call-ins, and I've talked to Philly Mike and uh, Philly Fresh and uh, Philly Notion. Right, he's one of my guys. Philly Notion's awesome. Um, I have yet to. I don't even think Joey Shakes has ever done a call in. I actually no, he has. He has. I just didn't participate in it. I would have. He's one of the guys that I want to do that I want to participate in the call in next. Joey Shakes is pretty cool. Um, Guys like Philly 500 and Lord Brunson are a little more difficult just because of their subscriber base. Being 15 to 20,000. That's kind of difficult. Uh, oh, Tone to Shields. I forgot about that. I forgot about him. Man. Yeah, I was in a collab with him for the Sixers and Mavericks game. Jeez. If I didn't say it, I think I would feel a little bit worse if I didn't say him. But let's see. I want to take my content to new heights and get community. It's just that my work ethic is, well, I mean, yeah, education comes first, especially for you younger kids, man. I know too many, I know too many kids that it's just that it's that they lose that drive. And some people even, some people my age even miss going to school, even miss going to school because to them it was so much simpler. But at the same time, you don't want to take those years for granted, because that's what ultimately decides your future as to what you want to do. Education's always going to come first, even if what you even some of the things you learn in school don't pertain to what you're going to do. It's and which I've had quite a lot. I mean, obviously, obviously for uh, obviously for the work that I do. Um, so for to be 100, um, I'm a welder. I'm a welder by trade. So for those that don't know, welding, it's just basically the concept of fusing 2 pieces of base metal together with a filler. So you're taking a molten metal and you're creating a joint between 2 base metals. That's what welding basically is. And what you don't need you don't necessarily need like trigonometry or calculus or stuff like that in welding. So you know what I mean, Nidings. That's just basically how it goes. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. I'm looking forward to it, man. Like I said, as soon as you get your schedule, as soon as you get your schedule all sorted out, let me know. Always available, always here. I work around anybody's schedule. I don't care. I honestly don't care. It's just all on what you want to do. Unless I'm the one suggesting a collab or trying to request a collaboration with somebody. Um, but on the flip side, then yeah, doesn't matter. I really want to do a collab with you. You're a great guy. You put here we go, big play slave. Yeah, you're killing me. Put great content out. You're gonna give me great advice, especially if you. I mean, no, it's and I think it's just because that I haven't hit I haven't hit 30 years old yet. I'll be a couple years away soon, so it's not that I'm that much older, but it's like like I'm old enough to be it's like I'm old enough to be a brother to, kids that are like 14, 15, or whatever it may be. And I'm I got two sisters, so it was just me, myself, and I growing up, for that matter. And I was the brother to sisters, so I wasn't a brother to brother. But it's, I guess if I can describe it, it's that I'm still close. I'm still close enough in. I guess I'm still close enough in age to where I don't. I'm not seen as a parental figure, but I'm seen as like a brother figure to, just to, help people out, and like, or whether it be stuff with school, or expectations on the next step in life when you guys are done with high school, what you want your direction in life to be, and stuff like that. It's just, I'm I'm just I'm open to it. I don't care. I don't care. I like helping people out. Well, whether it's on the largest to smallest scale, it doesn't matter. Helping people is helping people. It's just being a human being. It's that simple. That's I guess that's how I guess that's what I can call it. Be a human being. It's like, you know, us as humans, we weren't meant to treat each other like crap, especially with how the George Floyd verdict finally got to a conclusion and everything. It's just that, it doesn't matter what's on the outside. It matters what's on the inside. It's about being a human being. It's about what's in your heart, to and how your heart translates to your attitude, and how you are towards other people. It's that simple. I don't know why it's difficult. I don't know why it's so difficult to I don't know why it's so difficult to, be nice and treat others the way you want to be treated. It's just something that we will never figure out to this day. Like it's so the it's like one of the old it's like an older saying I've heard. You know the easiest things can be the hardest. In other words, it's a lot harder to be nice to people than it is to be an a-hole. Uh, take of it what you will, but if you think about it, like, we deal with, every no two people are exactly the same. We all have different personalities. We all have different things that make us who we are. All right. So if you take that saying, what I was just talking about, into context, it's like, do you have that capability of patience? Do you have that capacity of patience to carry the same attitude from one person that you would to another? Like I said, it's harder to be nice to everybody than it is to be an a-hole. So I hope that makes sense. And like I said, that's something, like, me personally, I'll never be able to understand, as to why it's so damn hard to just be a human being, and be nice to, whoever you come across, and you know whatever. That's my tangent. That's my tangent for the stream. I'll leave it at that. That's my tangent. So take of it what you will. That's my viewpoint on everything, and we'll take it from there. I mean, yeah, 9 inks right. Stay in school, kids. Yep. It's the only shot you're going to get. It's really the only shot you're going to get, unless you unless you repeat grades, and nobody wants to do that, especially with it going on your permanent record, college resumes, whatever. Look at this hashtag. Really, really. Oh man, oh man. Killing me, Smalls. Yeah, helping people and being nice just gives you a great feeling. Yeah, again, my neck was stuck there for a minute, but um, reading this reminded me of another saying that that helps me with this, and um, it's really easy to remember. So, kindness is contagious. Kindness is contagious, and that's absolutely true. It's like, for instance, you know, you'd be out in the supermarket or whatever, and you can do something as simple as, like, you go to Walmart or Target or stuff like that. Um, say you go to a store, and you're grocery shopping. So anytime you grocery shop, you're going to look for a bulk of items that you need to buy for that house. And say you're in the checkout line and somebody else comes your way and they have like three things, and you let them go in front of you, so they're not waiting behind your ass where you have a crap ton of stuff in your shopping cart, and they're sitting, and they sit there, and maybe they grow impatient and they're waiting like 15 minutes for you to get all your stuff sorted out. But instead you let them in front of you, and they're grateful for it, and they say thank you, whatever, and it feels good. But then where the contagious part comes in is, like, maybe a couple weeks down the road, somebody you don't know is going to do something nice for you. So for instance, I was getting Subway the one day, and I was getting a couple of footlongs for pause. I was getting some subs. I was getting some subs for the wife and I, and my card wasn't working in the chip reader, and the person behind me, actually, they paid for my stuff. So I literally got dumbfounded. I got dumbfounded by it. Um, and the same thing happened to me recently around Christmas time. I let a mother and her son in front of me at the dollar store, and she spotted me $20 on my shopping list. So it's like, it's just that's why kindness is contagious to me. So don't forget, and it's easy to do. It's easy to do. So don't forget that kindness is contagious, and you always get repaid for something nice that you've done for somebody else. It may not be the way that you wanted to. It may not be immediate, and it may not be of like monetary value. Sometimes it's emotional value. So there you go. That's tangent number two. Actually, no, it's not a tangent. That's advice. That's advice based off of what I was just talking about. So I went into advice after after my tangent. So there you go. I went way off topic for about 20 minutes. Oh my goodness. The capacity of just being yourself, helping people out, and adding flexibility to your goals and mindset is very important to the character you built yourself as a person, leader, and inspiration. Yep, pretty much. Pretty much. Do I need to take notes? No, I mean, no. That's up to you. I don't care. I don't care. I mean, it's like I get into a mood where I speak my mind, and I'll just keep going. I'll just keep going. Is depending on how it's received. Depending on how it's received, I'll just keep going. Stuff, crap like that. It's whatever. Okay. Where was I? So we got over the idea of how we talking about this flexible opportunity with going from 6 to 12, whatever. Then we get into the idea of the people in the Eagles fan base hating on Sirianni again for his competitiveness, so they think, with rock paper scissors or whatever it may be. It's like, and Joey Shakes dropped a video on this, and I dropped a comment in there. And I'm like, this is about two words. It's culture establishment. That's all it is. Why are you hating on the man? It's like you're used to something. It's like you're used to something for such a long time that you don't know how to embrace change or something different. Nick Sirianni is different. His approach is different. In a vacuum, it's different. But to continue to elaborate on the comment that I dropped on Joey Shakes' video, and for those that don't know about Joey Shakes, obviously go check him out. Awesome content creator. I think he's over 20,000 subscribers. I think he's in that range. He's in about the same range as Philly 500 and Lord Brunson. So yeah, Joey's a good guy. So for me to further elaborate on what I was talking about in the comment that I dropped, like, let's not be afraid of what Sirianni's trying to do here. It's his way of going about what he's trying to accomplish as a first-year head coach. It's a culture establishment. He's allowing himself as a head coach to be approachable, a people person, but when it comes down to football, it goes to straight X's and O's, and he'll be as professional as he can be. Now, we still have yet to see that from a Philadelphia Eagles perspective, because we can go back to the experience of him talking about when he was with the Chargers, or the time that he spent in Indianapolis with Frank Reich. It's going to be different in Philly. So because of the atmosphere of Philadelphia, a lot of blue collar people, and we have the mentality of keeping that chip on our shoulder and that underdog mentality, and how that carried into the Super Bowl year and everything, where like that kind of grit of a mentality. And then you get a guy like Nick Sirianni in the building, and it's different. And it catches people off a little bit, and we're like, wait a minute, well, we're not used to this. We're not used to this kind of approach. And I'm not going to label it as immaturity, because there's nothing necessarily immature about it. It's, like I said, it's Nick's approach to all of this. So, people just need to like calm down. You need to calm down. The draft hasn't even happened yet, and Nick already elaborated a little bit on the type of players that he wants on this football team. He's looking for guys of intelligence that have a competitive edge to them, and most importantly, that they love football. And I think that's one of the biggest qualities that he's mentioned in the first place, because if your love for the game is not there, and this applies to any sport that you play, this applies to anything that you do. Like, for instance, if my love for welding wasn't there anymore, and I continue to go to my job, and it's like, well, whatever, it's like, treating it like a 9 to 5 and blah blah blah, and you just go in and you're miserable. It's like, you lose your drive. You lose your drive. You just lose the desire to want to continue to do it. So in the matter of Sirianni talking about wanting players that love the game of football. I think that's the most important thing. It's obviously the most important thing. So, and we'll see how it translates to the draft. How much input Howie's going to actually listen to from the coaches and the scouting department. We hope that there's going to be more influence this time, as opposed to how last year's draft went. This speculation talking about the scouting department wanting Justin Jefferson, and then the other party wanting Jalen Reagor. It's like, no, that's if that continues to happen, then it's going to be a recipe for the disaster. Because it's like, as an organization, I mean, obviously, do we have? And it's almost obvious. Like, you ask yourselves, like, don't we have to be on the same page with all this? It wasn't good to hear. That wasn't good to hear. Like, imagine if there was more. Imagine if there was more. If there was more involvement in listening to the scouts. Imagine us taking Justin Jefferson over Jalen Reagor. Now, this isn't to say that Justin would have had the year that he had in Philly that he did in Minnesota. Minnesota was in they had a better environment for him in the first place. Here we're going into 2020 with random ass positions for the offensive side of the ball, these assistants and consultants and whatever. Yeah. But that's nothing to worry about anymore. That speculation's kind of gone. We can only move forward and hope to improve. And like I said, we have no choice but to put some faith in Howie. We got no choice. He's still here. So, and believe it or not, I mean, we could be worse off. I feel we can be worse off. There's organizations that are, kind of in a worse position than Philly is right now. I mean, we do actually have optimism. It's just a matter of, how much is the front office, the GM and the owner. It's like, it's just a matter of how much they're going to get in the way. That's what it's going to boil down to. Oh, Big Play Slay, you know what? He's still going. Jeez. I'm not gonna get into that kind of, I'm not gonna say that I'm going to ignore the stuff, but it's like, I just don't know what to say just because of who I am. I guess I could call myself inspiring. I'll take the compliments. I just don't know how to respond to it. Howie kind of changes a little, in my opinion. He's a little more willing to do things rather than to just being an a-hole as we see him. Well, I don't necessarily think it's a matter of him being an a-hole. I think it's a matter of him, based on Howie's background in general, not having as much football, like personal football experience as other GMs. I think there's a sense of, wanting to improve his self-value as a GM, to say, well, yeah, I may not be as football centric as some of these other guys are, but I still do know what I'm talking about when it comes to this game and the NFL as to what I'm capable of. And I think that goes to his head a little too much, and probably where that's probably where this resentment of him comes from, um, especially with his draft decisions and it being speculated that Howie has his own draft boards at times. So I think it's just a means of him trying to prove that he does have knowledge of the game, and he feels that he knows what he's doing as far as picking players in the draft. Is he good with numbers and working the cap? Absolutely. We're 5 million. We're not over the cap anymore. We're positive $5 million, and most of that 5 million is going to go to signing this draft class. And how he had to try to work around that. So kudos to him in that manner. But on the flip side, that's where that self-value comes in, and him trying to prove himself as a GM when it comes to personnel, that yeah, I can do this. And like I said, sometimes it gets to his head. You have that one breakthrough season, 2017, where everything falls into place. Everything falls into place. It was a perfect storm, and even manners like that, they can manipulate how you feel about yourself. You get in those moods where man, everything is going right. This is cool. Everything's going right. Well, I should expect it to go this way tomorrow. Or in this case, with Howie, from the Super Bowl year, I'm assuming that there was a sense of expectation after having that much success, that what he was doing from that perspective was okay, and then he continued that trend, and it's it's kind of like hitting the lottery, I guess. You hit it once, you feel good, and you feel you can hit it again, but odds are you're either not going to hit, or you're going to hit at a lesser value, and that's what's happening here. So Howie's trying to hit that mark again, like and Howie's been trying to hit that mark again like he did in 2017. So there's it's not a means of him. I don't necessarily think it's a means of him being an a-hole. I think it's just a means of him still having self-value and that self-pride. And pride in that manner can go either way. So it is what it is. But what else trying to think, what else did I want to get to here? Oh, before I forget, had to have it. Gotta advertise my team. Gotta advertise my NBA team as well. I guess hour into the stream, it might be a little late for that, but for those that aren't familiar with my channel, I also do Dallas Mavericks content. The Mavs are playing the Pistons right now, but had to throw the Tervis up there. I'm not happy with them right now, but that's another story. So, what else I wanted to bring up quick? Why are you going blurry on me? Cut it out. My Lakers will destroy the Mavs tomorrow. Oh, here we go. Well, I think the only thing going in the Mavs' favor is the fact that LeBron and Anthony Davis still aren't ready. I don't think they're going to play, and we play the Lakers back to back. So it's a Thursday and a Friday game, I think, or is it Friday, Saturday? I'm going. It's going to bother me if I don't check. So I need to. You know what? I'm not gonna use my phone. I actually have it up here. Let me go to the NBA quick. Um, I guess while I have the chance to. Oh, Dallas doesn't play until 8:30. Well, what the hell? Oh, never mind. It's the time zone that they advertised. Yeah, 8:30 game. It's getting later. It's harder to do these late. It's harder for me to do these late games, like because sometimes they'll carry to 11, and then I have to get up at just about 5 in the morning to go to work. It's for the work I do, it's not ideal. I'd rather be I'd rather be a little more awake. So well, let me see here. Let me bring up the Mavericks schedule quick because I know we play the Lakers back to back. I know we do. Let me see. 2 straight games we play the Lakers. I think it's going to be a Friday. Oh wow, no, we actually do play them tomorrow. Crap. So we got 3 straight home games. Okay. That may be one of the other advantages that Dallas has. So we have 3 straight home games. So tonight's the Pistons, and then the Lakers. Then the Lakers come to town tomorrow and Saturday to play us, and I think the times are the same. So no, Thursday's a 9:30 game on TNT, and then Saturday's an 8:30 game on ABC. So you know what? I'm down to a 4-day work week now. So I may be able to stream both games. I may be able to. And I guess for the sake of you being a Lakers fan, Big Play Slay, I might have to do a play-by-play for both games. I may have to. I may have to. So if if I get if the audience is there, then yeah, you guys got to let me know. It's been a while since I guess no, not necessarily. It hasn't necessarily been a while since I did a play-by-play. It's been a while since I did a play-by-play with OBS. Since I got a different setup here that I'm not running through Wi-Fi and I'm direct connected, I'm thinking OBS might run a little better to have the scoreboard up there and everything. So maybe it'll work. I may try it tomorrow, and if not tomorrow, then I'll probably stream the Saturday game. It all depends. It's all going to depend. But yeah, so I guess to continue to stay on topic here. Let me see. Okay, all right. So all right, Big Play. So you're helping me a little bit here. Okay, so I feel like people overlook or don't prosper the fact that Jeffrey Lurie puts his feet in the dirt and tells Howie what to do when drafting and getting personnel. I don't necessarily know how to approach this one, especially due to the fact that Jeffrey Lurie doesn't strike me completely as a Jerry Jones type of owner. He may be trying to, he may be trying to involve himself a little bit more, but in the means of Howie, I think Jeffrey trusts him enough to be able to execute these kind of things without Jeffrey's input. So it's like if I can describe the way I'm thinking it almost, the way you're putting it makes it seem like Jeffrey Lurie is the puppet master and Howie is his puppet. I sound like I said puppet. I meant to say puppet, but I don't think it's to that stage yet. I necessarily don't think it's to that stage yet, unless unless we're talking to means of, Jeffrey speaking him to the side and be like, hey, I want to keep you, but you gotta just listen to me a little bit with this draft, and we'll make it seem like you made all these picks, and let me get my word in there and tell you who I like and who I don't, and maybe we'll go about it that way, and people will think that you made all the picks, something like that. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there, but I just don't feel Jeffrey Lurie's to the point where he's like that kind of a puppet master. I don't think it's to that stage yet. I don't think so. But what I did want to bring up is I noticed scrolling through ESPN here, there was an article that was posted. All right, hold on here. I gotta get back to the main screen. If I can find the article again. Okay. So on ESPN, there was an article that was posted where the owners of the NFL okayed new rules and replay changes for the season of 2021. Okay. The article, the staff writer for ESPN, it was written by Kevin Seifert. Whereas I'll kind of sum it up here a little bit, but he says, NFL owners approved a series of new rules Wednesday for the season, including one that will expand the influence of replay officials amid ongoing demands from coaches for more oversight of game day officials. Okay. Owners rejected more robust proposals for a full-time sky judge, including one from the Baltimore Ravens that would have created a booth umpire. Yeah. So in other words, like it says, instead, owners took the more modest step of giving the existing replay officials the authority to consult with referees on specific objective aspects of a play when clear and obvious video evidence is present. I'm fine with that. I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, for the amount of frustration and times that we just straight up disagree with a referee, like WTF. That's why would you make that call? And it was with whatever disagreements we may have, it's kind of. I guess it's kind of how replays in baseball are consulted. You see the collaborative effort with the umpires as to if a player was safe or not, and you get multiple people looking at it, and what this is basically saying is just giving a little more authority to the replay officials to extend collaboration with the referees on the field as to how plays unfolded. If there was question regarding whether or not somebody stepped out of bounds and they didn't see it, or maybe challenges, stuff like that. It goes on to say replay officials will not be able to throw flags or reverse calls on their own, but they can now offer referees advice based on what they've seen on broadcast replays in the areas of possession, completed or intercepted passes, the location of the ball relative to the boundary or end line, and whether a player is down by contact. So this is a means of better utilizing the technology that they have at their disposal. That's what this is basically saying. So good for them. I'm cool with the idea. Yeah, big play slide. I did get that. I did catch that you followed me on Twitter. Appreciate it, man. I think somebody else followed me back on Twitter. I don't remember who it was. It's a bigger, let me see, it's a bigger content creator. Where is it? Okay. Let me see. Where is it? Oh, okay. Yeah. Um, yeah. Joe Castro, Philly the podcast. He followed me. He followed me back on Twitter too. Oh, okay. So wait a minute. You have Big Play Slay. You have two Twitter accounts. At least that's what I seen, because there's two different profile pictures. It felt like you had two Twitter accounts. But so I'm gonna finish the rest of the. Okay. All right. Good. Yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah, because I seen you followed me on both accounts. Good. Yeah. Good deal. Cool. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to continue to read some of the rules that were implemented in place. Some of them benefit the players as far as their jersey numbers. I want to get to that. So right here, approved a relaxation of rules for the numbers that players of certain positions can wear because of expanded practice squads. Running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, defensive backs, and linebackers can all wear numbers in the single digits now if they choose. That's pretty damn cool. That's pretty damn cool to see. So it's not limited to the quarterback or the kicker or positions like that. We can actually see some of our we can actually see guys like Miles Sanders choose a can see guys like Miles choose a different number. We already seen Hurts go to number 1 instead of 2. Quez Watkins chose his college number. He went to 16. Stuff like that. So I mean, pretty. Too bad Jalen Reagor couldn't pick 1. Jalen Hurts already has it. Stuff like that. But man, it's cool. I like it. I like it for the players. There was a proposal by the Philadelphia Eagles pertaining to onside kicks that got approved. So get ready for this, guys. So they approved a 1-year experiment in an attempt to make it easier to recover onside kicks. In 2021, the receiving team on kickoffs will be limited to 9 players within 25 yards of the ball. Last season, NFL teams recovered only 3 of 67 onside kicks, the lowest total and recovery rate since at least 2001. As a result, the Philadelphia Eagles proposed that teams be given an option to gain 15 yards on one offensive play from their own 25 to retain possession after a score. Interesting. I'd say it's pretty interesting. We'll see how it plays out, but yeah. So that's where it's going to be at with onside kicks. Let's see. Eliminated overtime in preseason games. Changed a rule that will now force a loss of down if 2 passes are completed behind the line of scrimmage. Okay. Not sure how that's going to be allowed. I would like to see how that's elaborated. Like, is that 2 passes in a row? Is that is it 2 passes? Is it a maximum of 2 passes per possession? Let's see. Approved a rule change that ensures the enforcement of all accepted penalties during successive try attempts, defined as an opportunity for a team to score 1 or 2 additional points during one scrimmage down. Decided to include taunting among its points of emphasis for 2021. It is clarified that the emphasis would be directed not at celebrations, but toward acrimonious interaction among players. This is another interesting one that I think that I think is going to shake things up a little bit as far as our process. Now, remember our hiring process with how at times we were like waiting during the playoffs for guys like Eric Bieniemy and the one guy off of the Bills coaching staff that I can't think of right now, and guys like that. So this was put in place. Tabled a proposal from the Buffalo Bills that would have pushed back interviews for general manager and head coaching positions until after the championship round of the playoffs, and would have prevented hires until after the Super Bowl. It will be further studied. Okay. I like it. I like it. So, yeah, I think those are some of the more bigger points that I took from reading the rule changes here. If you guys would like to see it for yourself, you can go to ESPN. It's currently one of the top headlines at the main screen. It's at the top of the screen, so you guys can see it there. So that's about it for that. Where do I want to go from here? So, wow, I'm already almost an hour and a half in. This is crazy. I wonder if I'll hit 4 hours again. I don't think so because it's already 8:30. I'm pretty close. Scotland, what is going on? Do you think the NFL owners would not break that rule? So it's, from what I understand, reading it on ESPN, the rule isn't. It doesn't seem that the rule is concrete. It said that it would be further studied. I guess as far as experimentation purposes go. I mean, can you say that? Can you say that these organizations may take of it as a means of trying to tamper, like they have their little tampering period? I don't know. It's a possibility, but yeah, I don't see it. I don't necessarily see it being broken as of right now, but it's still a possibility. But like I said, it doesn't seem that the rule change is concrete. They're still doing research into it, but as far as the rule goes, that's what they got right now. Do you think the Eagles trade up to 8 with the Panthers to get the guy they want, maybe being Kyle Pitts? So that was one of the rumors that I heard. I heard that the Panthers are open to trading down. I also heard that the Arizona Cardinals are looking to trade up in the draft for a receiver. So here we go. Once again, another scenario where, Howie Roseman just talked about this flexible opportunity that he has. Well, does he feel that based on their board right now that because he made an emphasis that you want to take care of these transactions before draft night, because it's like he explained it, that it's easier to do so before the draft than it is during the draft, because you're not going to want to be you're not going to want to be in the middle of a negotiation while you're trying to pay attention to the board as to who these teams, who they're picking and what have you. So yeah, I have to assume we're going to see. I have to assume that the majority of these transactions are still going to happen on draft night, but it still makes sense. It still makes sense to how he talking about that. Yeah, you want to get as much out of the way as possible before the night of the draft. Can anyone trust Glazer and Cranky? Oh man, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. But man, so geez, I'm almost an hour and a half into this stream. It's going. To say it's definitely going pretty well so far. Um, I'm hoping. I'm kind of hoping for a little bit more of an audience until I get into until I get into some of the mocks. I know I had some. I had some pretty. I know I had some pretty good interaction from the last one I did that ended up, that was a call in. So I did talk about. I commented on one of Philly Foothills videos. I did tell him about that. I may turn this into a call in. I'm not sure yet. It depends on the viewer activity. Maybe if there's maybe if more people show up, you never know. I might turn it into a call in. So if the audience grows, then it's a possibility. But I'm hoping to get a bigger viewer base for the moment until I do a screen share and we can get this legitimate draft going. We gotta put ourselves in the shoes of the scouting department in the front office. I know we did that. I know we did that in the call-in, and there was a lot more time for decision making and whatever. I want to make this one a little more legitimate. I'm actually going to have a stopwatch. I'm gonna throw a stopwatch on my phone and set it to like 5 minutes or so, and I'll discuss it with you guys. You guys are going to be the scouting department, and we're going to do our damnedest to create the best scenario possible for the Eagles for 2021 and beyond. So that's what I'm going to try to accomplish in this stream. And until then, hopefully more people tune in. Do you think they tried to trade up for Chase in the top 10? See, I'm still under the impression that if Ja'Marr Chase was the guy, would we still have necessarily traded out of the 6th spot in the first place? Barring the idea of what other teams may want, and the speculation is still the chance of Ja'Marr going to Cincinnati, because obviously we could look up to 3 quarterbacks that could be taken off the board in the top 5. I think Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson are locks. That's the way it's looking right now between the Jaguars and the Jets. It's looking like them 2 quarterbacks are locks. The 49ers are kind of in a pickle. First what was it? Justin Fields, he was in talks to San Fran. Now Mac Jones is in the mix, and Trey Lance has been hovering around the top five. Rumored to the Falcons even. I don't think San Fran takes Trey Lance. I don't think Trey Lance goes third. I don't think he goes third, but Trey Lance was in talks around the top five, so you could possibly have three quarterbacks go in the top five, which will push guys like Pitts and Chase towards six. So I mean, I don't know. I'm under the impression that if Chase was the guy, then they wouldn't have moved from six. But again, like I said, it was rumored at one point, and Joe Burrow of the Bengals pointed, he was openly talking about this, saying that he would love to have Jamar Chase, and I don't blame him. He knows him. That's, I mean, what better pick could, other than a lineman, what better pick could the Bengals make in getting a receiver like that already has some chemistry and connection to the quarterback that you drafted last year? Makes sense on their part. So, in my opinion, if Chase was the guy, then, I wouldn't have moved from six, just because if it didn't end up being Chase and Chase was taken at five, if he ended up being taken to Cincinnati at five and we stayed at six, if Chase wasn't there and Kyle Pitts was still on the table, I don't see that's what I'm saying. I don't see how you don't take Kyle Pitts in that scenario. I don't see how you don't take him. But, again, it goes against the philosophy of flexible opportunity that Howie was talking about. We have that extra draft capital to play around with now for future transactions or what have you. So, but again, I don't think if Chase was the guy, I don't think we should have moved from six. If it was Chase, I don't think we should have moved from six. So, I mean, that's that. Man, hour and a half in, had a good flow of comments in here. Thank you to all that came in, or whatever it is you may do. I could have I could have one viewer, or I could have 100. It's it is what it is. Birdman 951, what is up? What is going on, sir? I appreciate that you agree. Do I think they trade back? And again, trading back, pertains to the idea of, man, it's tough to think. It's tough to think of right now because, and I understand that Howie traded back already, but it was only due to the fact of the offer being on the table was an extra first round pick for next year. Okay, so the only other way I see him trading back again is if it was an offer that Howie couldn't refuse. So, but it depends how far back we go, because if we only go back about 5 spots, who's really left there? Who's really left there on our board who we think the Eagles should take that's going to be available? In that case, it could be another in that case, it could be a defensive end. Could it be Kwity Paye? What is the other lineman? Isn't it Jalen Williams? I don't think his last name is Williams, is it? Somebody correct me on that. I can't remember. But it's like, it just it's all going to depend on what the offer is going to be. But for me, 12 is on the edge of that breaking point as far as the pick's value. Because depending on what Carolina does, whether they trade back or not, depending on what Carolina does and how far Arizona thinks they can come up. Now, for all we know, based on the rumors that are going around, maybe Carolina and Arizona are the two that are trying to work on something here. And maybe the Cardinals are the team that are going to swap with the Panthers. So depending on where Kyle Pitts and Jamar Chase goes, if they're both off the board by 8, are the Cardinals trading up for a receiver? It's possible. Could they trade up for secondary? Maybe. They lost Patrick Peterson. So I mean, and this is one of the more difficult parts about this draft, is because a lot of the teams that circle us right now have the same needs that early in the draft. Think about it. Detroit could use a receiver or a corner. Miami could use a receiver. Cincinnati could use a receiver. They could use offensive linemen. Other than maybe the top 3, and you could probably include the Falcons in there. The Falcons don't need much more weaponry. I think the biggest question mark for them at 4 is going to be quarterback. Like, how much does Matt Ryan have left? He's pushing 40. So it's going to be a matter of how much Matt Ryan has left. They got Hayden Hurst from the Ravens because they traded Austin Hooper. Hayden Hurst is a pretty good tight end. He's good for them. They still have Julio Jones. They still have Calvin Ridley. I think the Falcons could use a running back, but they're not going to take a running back that early. So, man, I don't know. Like, you could talk about Rashad Bateman. You can talk about Terrace Marshall Jr. You can even talk a corner later in the draft. Whether we're late first, or if we keep 37. It's crazy at the same time how much, even if we didn't make the trade, there's still a lot of opportunity between the first and the second round for the Eagles. We could grab a receiver, we could grab a corner, we could grab a linebacker. For craps and giggles, we can even grab a tight end. Although it's speculated that Pat Freiermuth, who is really he's one of only, I think, 2 or 3 tight ends that are good in this draft, because the depth of tight end is pretty bad. So, there's mocks that are even pushing Pat to the 3rd. So, the tight end position could very well be a question for Philly. Excuse me. Assuming that Ertz gets traded, who do we have behind Dallas Goedert? Think about it. Who is behind Dallas Goedert that could suit up as the number 2 tight end right now? Is it Jason Kroom, Hakeem Butler, Caleb Wilson? I think that project tight end from Buffalo, I think his name's Tyree Jackson. That dude that's like 6'6", 6'7". Do any of those guys that I named off I mean, could they be the number 2 to Dallas Goedert right now if Ertz is gone? No. No. I don't trust any of them guys. Honestly, I don't. I would rather have Joshua Perkins or Richard Rodgers back as the number 2. Because I seen that I seen them on the field already. They've worked pretty well. You know, we've seen Joshua Perkins in flashes in 2019 towards the end of the season, and you know Richard Rodgers has done his due when Ertz and Goddard were battling injuries last year. So you can argue tight end is a question mark for this team as well. I don't feel excited for this draft as before. Yeah, a lot of us don't. But like I said in the beginning of the stream, you know, we almost have to have faith in the general manager. It's like for the time being, he's not going anywhere, and you know, I think he has the most influence with these picks in the first place. You know, you can have your scouting department, your personnel people. You can have all them people, you know, telling you things until they're blue in the face. But you know, for us, what we think, it still comes down to who Howie picks. But all we can hope for is that the influence given by Nick Sirianni and Jonathan Gannon for offense and defense, all we can hope for is that their word gets received a little bit stronger than, you know, Doug Peterson's did or Jim Schwartz's did. That's all we can hope for at this moment. Hashtag call in maybe. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you know what? It's a possibility. It is a possibility. I'm still thinking about it. I'm hoping for the audience to grow a little bit. We still got some legitimate mock. We still got a legitimate mock to do. I need you guys to build a scouting department. Come into the stream. Let's get it going, and you know, let's get a legitimate draft. Let's get a legitimate mock for the Eagles. Letting the Giants and Cowboys pick before us, that stings. Yeah, of course. I mean, that was one of the biggest things with trading from 6 to 12 in the first place. It's like, you know, we hear about it at first, and then, you know, we look at the board again, and it's like, well, you gotta be kidding me. Two of our division rivals pick in front of us back to back. It's like, really? So you know, we still can't continue to get the last laugh since we fleeced Dallas in the 2018 draft to pick Dallas Goedert right in front of them when in that class they needed a tight end. So I mean, you know, oh well, we can't have the last laugh anymore. Is it true that Jerry Jones wants Kyle Pitts? I mean, it's already been said that Jerry Jones is infatuated with Kyle Pitts as a player, and you know, for what we know as Jerry Jones as an owner, he's going to do what it takes to get his man. If he feels that, you know, if it's the right guy for the football team, he's going to do it. And, you know, one thing that Jerry Jones and Jeffrey Lurie have in common is that they're both about offense. So, and I mean, it's been seen before. I mean, you know, we can look at the Cowboys right now, and, you know, they're all offense and no defense. They got, you know, they supposedly have 3 potential, quote unquote, 1,000-yard receivers and Michael Gallup and Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. They got their running back in Ezekiel Elliott. They got a good backup to him and Tony Pollard. They got a good offensive line. They got tight ends that they have promise in. So it's like all defense or it's all offense, and then the defense is either a bunch of nobodies, or guys that have been consistently hurt. Leighton Vander Esch isn't the healthiest linebacker. Sean Lee isn't the healthiest linebacker. He's considering retirement soon. Trevon Diggs is arguably their best corner, and he's going into year 2. So that's why there's a huge emphasis on a lot of these Cowboys fans to want to take Patrick Surtain. And that is a possible reality that may become a nightmare for me. One of my biggest nightmares in this draft is if the Cowboys take either J.C. Horn or Patrick Surtain. I'll lose it. If either one of those two scenarios happen, I'm going to lose my mind. I don't want that to happen. The last thing I want Dallas to do is to improve their defense, because their defense was terrible last year. It was terrible. And especially when you're talking about corners, Patrick Surtain has a connection to Trevon Diggs. I think at one point they were teammates in either. I heard that they were teammates in high school. So there's some chemistry there, and you got two Bama corners. You got two Bama corners on the outside. Trevon Diggs is pretty damn good. He's pretty damn good. The brother to Stephon Diggs, who. Why did I even bring this thought up in my head? Stephon Diggs was the one receiver. He was the receiver that I wanted the Eagles to trade for. I think this was last year at the trade deadline. It was either, what was it? It was a 2019 or 2020 that I wanted the Eagles to do this. Crap, I can't remember. But either in 2019 or 2020, that's going to bother me now. I want to say it was last year. I think. Last year or the year before. But Stephon Diggs was the one receiver that I wanted the Eagles to trade for. I wanted you know who. I wanted number 11 to have his number 1 at the wide receiver position. And look what Stephon Diggs did. Look what he did for Josh Allen on the Bills. Oh, my God. That's what we missed on. And how he wouldn't pull the trigger. How he would not pull the trigger on a Stephon Diggs trade. I would have loved him in Philadelphia. What he did for Josh Allen is exactly what he would have done for number 11 if he was still here. I guarantee it. Stephon Diggs is that good. He is that good. So how that kind of talent resonates to his brother, and in the scenario, if Dallas takes Surtain and you pair Surtain with Trevon Diggs for years to come, that's a damn good secondary for Dallas. And that's going to end up haunting us twice a year. So that's my nightmare scenario. I do not want Dallas taking Patrick Surtain or J.C. Horn. Either one. I don't want it to happen. I don't. So I hope that Jerry rests on his offensive laurels. I hope that he does, and he takes an offensive player, because he's all about box office. He's all about selling tickets. He's all about selling tickets at AT&T Stadium. Man, you know what? That's right. Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins. Yep. Yeah, another big one. especially DeAndre Hopkins going. His price was what? A peanut and a Kleenex tissue. I'll never understand it. I never will. Uh, what is your honest opinion on Jalen Reagor? Well, for me, we're talking a receiver going into year two that already has an injury history. Um, what was it? I think he broke a thumb. I think he broke a thumb, and what was it? I think it was an injury to his foot or something. Let me see. I want to fact check this. I'm going to make sure that I'm right here. Let me see. Where is his injury history? Let me find it. So let me see. He had, okay. So last year, Reagor had two injuries. On September 20th, he had a ligament tear in the thumb of his left hand, and he had a shoulder dislocation on August 30th. So, I mean, that's nothing that's too extreme, but we're talking a receiver that's come from a smaller school. He doesn't seem to have been the popular pick for the Eagles from a lot of the fan base. I think a lot of us wanted Justin Jefferson over Jalen Reagor, but I think some of the hate that Reagor gets is a little bit unjustified, just due to the fact that we're taking this receiver from a smaller school, and you see who Justin Jefferson had throwing to him in college, as opposed to who Jalen Reagor was catching passes from. I think Reagor was catching passes from three different quarterbacks. Pretty sure Justin Jefferson had Joe Burrow the whole time. So developing with a chemistry on the field with three different quarterbacks isn't ideal in that case. And he has the playmaking ability. He has the playmaking ability. He has the speed. It just, to me, and what gets a lot of Eagles fans irritated is that the production in college didn't transition to the NFL quick enough, especially for him being a first round pick. We expected more out of him, and granted, week one against Washington, we're like, number 11 throws a bomb to Reagor, and he tracks the ball very well, and 11 drops it in the breadbasket, and he's catching it over the shoulder. It looked very good. And then from then on, Reagor became victim to, as well as a lot of other players. Most of that rookie class, for that matter. Everybody fell victim to the deterioration of the organization throughout the season. Between the rumors of number 11 and the head coach butting heads, and all that other crap that was going on. It was there was such a distraction factor that it kind of took away from paying attention to the actual potential of some of these players at the skill positions. So all we can do is that this fresh start of a coaching staff can allow guys like Reagor to kind of come back into his own, and improve as a player overall. But I feel that I don't know. I kind of feel that Rager probably would have he probably would have fell to the second round. So I mean, it is what it is. I can't I can't give up on that rookie class of receivers yet until I see what they're capable of under this new coaching staff, especially with a number of people, especially with a number of people in this coaching staff, for that matter, that have wide receiver experience in the first place. Aaron Moorhead, the wide receiver coach, he used to be a receiver. Our new head coach used to be a receiver. The amount of coaching personnel with that kind of experience, it speaks volumes to it speaks volumes to the potential that we hope that these guys can have, so long as they receive the information. Rate the receiving core 1 through 10. I have it at a 6.5. So 6.5 is pretty fair. I do have to give that to you, Birdman. It sounds pretty fair to me. And I think, you know what? This is tough. So because it pretty much stayed the same, other than Robert Davis not being here anymore, Deontay Burnett is not here anymore, Marquise Goodwin is not here anymore. I would have to. So yeah, Big Play Slade came in at a 5.5. So I'm going to meet you two in the middle, and I'm going to go a 6. I don't necessarily, as a receiving core, based on their skill set, I don't necessarily think of them as average. So average would be a 5 out of 10. It's in the middle. I'm going to go a 6, and that 6 is barring the projected potential that they have, with the change of this coaching staff, hoping that the offensive system in place is going to be schemed to the strengths of the players. We heard word of a focus with Jalen Reagor coming out of the slot a little bit more, which I mean, I'm okay with, and I'm like yes and no on it, because Rager's also good enough as the Z, especially if especially the fact of Sirianni talking about predicating the offense on a lot of quick throws. So getting the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick. And this is one thing. This is one thing in other streams and call-ins that I have emphasized on, is the idea of, like, you look at guys like Jalen Reagor and you look at guys like Quez Watkins. Not so much John Hightower, but when you put Quez and Reagor like in the same group there, these are guys that have a twitch to them, that like to work, that like to work in space. So use their burst of speed to your advantage. So maybe hit them on a slant, or involve Quez in more screens. Use his speed to outrun defenders, stuff like that. So I can't say that the receiving core is average, mainly because 2020 was just such an awkward season for them. And how can you really set a bar of expectation on these rookies for what they went through? And that's not to make an excuse, because every other team in the NFL went through the same thing, and some had just as bad of a just as bad of an injury record that we did, just in different areas, not so much the offensive line. But yeah, no, but this isn't to say that we still can't add to the position. I feel that we could have added a veteran receiver. I'm not keen on the idea of Greg Ward Jr. being the only veteran type receiver in that locker room with a bunch of kids, but it is what it is to this point until we see a future move being made in free agency. Obviously, free agencies, it's not done yet. It's definitely not done yet. I mean, we've seen the Eagles make moves in August, so I have to imagine, based on how the rest of this offseason goes, me personally, I have to imagine that the Eagles are going to sign at least one veteran receiver to kind of complement this offense, this young, this young group of kids. And you got to help out Greg Ward a little bit. You got to help out Greg Ward a little bit. Exactly. So you're saying that Greg Ward's like 26 years old. Exactly. So the Eagles have young wide receivers. That's a given, and that's good that they have speed, their versatility, lack of inexperience, and there's not really a game-changing. Yeah. So, I mean, and we bring up versatility. I mean, how much versatility really does Greg Ward have? Didn't he take most of his snaps out of the slot in the first place last year? In the mix of the turntable that the receiving core was with keeping guys on the field, or trying to justify holding on to veterans. Deshaun Jackson being on and off of the field, and throwing Alshon Jeffrey back out there is really stunting the growth of Travis Fulgham. Oh, don't even get me started. Oh God, I'm just gonna get another headache from it at this point. Yeah, exactly. Like literally, you're older than all the receivers on. Like, what do you want me to do about it? It is what it is. It is what it is. But at the same time, we look to last year, before last year's draft, and what were most of us talking about? We got to get younger at these skill positions, especially the wide receiving core. We got to get younger, and we end up doing that. We end up doing that, and it's like now. We're on the opposite spectrum. Now we don't have the veteran experience outside of Greg Ward. Nothing. Quez Watkins, John Hightower, Jalen Reagor, Greg Ward Jr., like 26, former quarterback. Khalil Tate's. I think Khalil Tate's going back to the quarterback position. Oh my goodness. But wow, I already reached the 2-hour milestone here on this live stream. Thank you to everybody that has either stuck with me the whole time or hopped in and out, whatever it is you're doing. Thanks to everybody. Like I got still going, scrolling on the drop, that I got still scrolling on the screen here. Appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel for more content. I'm just gonna, I'm driven by, how you guys perceive and observe what I'm doing with my things. So, bring up what Nightings said a little earlier. Quick, finish my video. I'm not that good at the scouting draft topics. No, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. It doesn't bother me at all. And the more subscribers I get, and then the more people that come into the streams, they'll they'll figure me out themselves as well. But it's like, it's good that I have, it's good that I have a group of regulars that, that you guys can help me out, and fill other people in that eventually join, that they're trying to figure out the person that I am. And it's like, well, no, it's just that, I'm me, down to earth, and very, personable, approachable, and what it is, is what it is. But so I don't keep yous waiting, the moment that we've all been looking for, being that I currently still have 2 viewers in here, not the ideal number for a scouting department, but it should be enough to get one of these mocks going. So without further ado, let me screen share. And let's see. Application, Chrome tab. Let's do this. All right, there we go. Thanks, thanks, Lindy. Appreciate it. But I was just stuttering and saying, you know what? It is what it is. Ninings, it is what it is. I'm not bothered by it whatsoever. Compared to BPS, I'm terrible. Hey man, everybody has their own kind of fandom. There's no set criteria as to there's no set criteria that considers you a fan of something or not. You're a fan in your own right by however it is you support your sports team. Doesn't matter. But here, let's go. All right, here we go. Geez, I thought I tossed my thirst into oblivion talking as long as I have. Not bad. Yeah, I agree. And I'm more of the gameplay person that does exactly. And that's what it is to. That's what it boils down to with content creation. The biggest thing you got to remember is you do you. I mean, to an extent you have to pay attention to what other people are doing, just so you're not, just so you're not in a way of like you're not posting the same thing as somebody else. To an extent, you have to pay attention to what the rest of the community is doing. But even if you post something similar from a content perspective, it's not going to be the same unless you recite somebody word for word based on their opinion. But all of our, for the most part, all of our opinions are going to be different unless we're on the same page at something. So there we go. But okay, let us get a legitimate mock started. For those that are with me right now, and I hope that the viewership grows. We got ourselves a legitimate mock to do. This is going to be a serious mock. We're going to put ourselves in the shoes of the Philadelphia Eagles with that scouting department and that GM that a lot of us like to despise. It is going to be our job right now. It's going to be our job right now to put up the best mock possible. Now, unfortunately, I can't necessarily stall this. Unfortunately, I can't necessarily stall it any longer. I'm already 2 hours in, and I talked a bunch of blah, and for the most part, we elaborated pretty pretty deeply on some things, and as much as I would like to wait a little bit longer to see if other people would come in here, it is what it is. So we'll get some mocks going, and I think if the viewer base starts to expand, then we might get a second mock in here. I just have to watch my time this time, so we're not taking as long as we did before. So actually, with that said, let me get a stopwatch ready on my phone. Okay. So the way this mock is going to go, when we're up on the board, I'm going to target our time limit at 5 minutes. So between me and you guys being the scouting department, based on the players available, we got 5 minutes to make a pick. 5 minutes only. We're going to go through this. We're going to go through this through each pick, and we're, we got to get it. We got to get it. So, all right, here we go. Let me know. Let me know, guys. Let me know if you guys are ready or not, and I guess I'll get it started. So you know what? I guess since the first episode went so well, since the first one went so well, for entertainment purpose, I think I'll open this up here. There we go. All right. So how about that? There you go. Big Play Slay, you got your wish. Where's the comment? There it is. You got your wish. Turned it into a call-in. There we go. So we got ourselves a call-in here. We now have ourselves a call-in here. Spread the word, get it out. We got ourselves a mock to do. And I just turned the stream into a call-in. So, feel free to jump on in to the the draft room with me, the self-proclaimed general manager, and we'll get it going. We will get it going. Night Ink's already helping me out here. I know you're not big on that kind of participation. It's all right, man. I know. I appreciate it, but there we go. The link is now up there. But even though it is now a call-in, we're still keeping the rules. 5 minutes. 5 minutes for each pick. In the meantime, while I let it simmer for a little bit, let me get back to the stopwatch here. All right, there we go. So that's set up. I am going to check on my Mavericks and see how they're doing. The game started about 45 minutes ago. Oh, geez, here we go again. You know what? I just don't know if Dallas still has the energy that they did. I really don't. What is going on here? Give me the full box score. Who started? Oh my good God. Porzingis has 3 points in 9 minutes. Luka has 13 points in 12 minutes. He's not shooting very well. He's okay from threes, 2 of 5, but five 3-point attempts with 8.5 minutes left in the first half is too many. That's too many 3-point attempts already. No. Luka should only have about, well, I don't know. To me, Luka should have only about 3. He should only have about 3. And he's 5 of 11 from the field. Yeah, no. Oh, this team drives me nuts. This team drives me nuts. Yeah. You know what? I don't know. just continuing to look at this box score and how the Mavs are playing against Detroit. I'm kind of, you know what, big play Slay. I'm kind of losing confidence here, man. I'm kind of losing confidence that we're going to take a game from the Lakers. We might even get swept. That's how it's looking right now. Because against a piss poor Pistons team that boasts a visiting record of 7-24. We're losing by 7 right now. How did Detroit even win the first quarter 36-33? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Man, but so let's see. I guess I'll get a until I get a little bit more traction here. I guess I'll get a practice mock. out of the way for the sake of trying to prevent boredom in the stream and just to keep it going. It's already been over 2 hours. So all right, let's see here. All right. What's going on here? This is pretty what the what's going on here? Why can't I see anything? Oh. No wonder why. I still have too much zoom. It's very wide. Well, this ain't right. What is going on? No. Let me see here. I can't. No, it wasn't doing this before though. Oh my goodness. I can't really see correctly. And it wasn't doing this to me before. But it looks like Birdman is still here. So I'll get him into the stream quick while I'm trying to figure out the way that this should be zoomed in. Birdman, what is going on? This is getting annoying. Why is this? No, it was Jalen. I was saying Williams. It's actually Jalen Phillips. Okay. I still can't really see anything. I'm not sure why it's showing this way. Because it wasn't doing this to me before. Let me see if I can reload it here. Let me see if I can reload it here. That might fix it. Because I'm not sure as to why it was as wide as it was. Because you guys wouldn't have been able to see anything. Hell, I couldn't see anything. There we go. That's better. Okay. So now we got ourselves a mock going on. Oh damn. Okay. Looks like Birdman hopped out for a minute. No big deal. There we go. Guess you had to fix something for a second. Throw you back in there. All right. What is up, Birdman? Getting a I guess a practice mock started here. Let's see what we got working with.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
Oh, there it goes. Yeah, if my internet starts acting up, I'll just bounce because I'm driving, so it's kind of
Oh,
tricky.
okay. Man, actually, that's cool. You're actually driving, man. Jeez, careful there. But yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
I truck driving at night.
Oh wow, all right. Yeah, good deal. Man, I appreciate you tuning in. I guess it was cool to give you guys the opportunity to make this another call in. Um, my first attempt went really well, so I figured I did the same thing. So, guess just due to the simulation of us getting this mock underway and trying to make the best one possible, looks like we're 40 seconds into making a selection at 12 for the Eagles. For those in the chat, let me know if you guys can see this okay. I'm going to try and zoom in again if I can. Figure it out for a minute. I don't even think it's going to let me zoom if I can find. Oh, no, here's the zoom. Let me see if I can add 10%. Okay, so I can add 10%, but looks like this. It looks like the players available is a little bit condensed. So let me see. Let me back this back out to 100. There we go. Okay. So, oh boy. All right. Let's go over to see who went where. All right. So, like I said, as I predicted early in the stream, 3 quarterbacks actually went 1, 2, and 3 back to back. So Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and Justin Fields all went 1 through 3. Kyle Pitts ends up going to the Falcons. Just called that. Oh my goodness. You know what? This mock is reading my mind right now.
I hope that happens.
So this mock is reading my mind right now because I had a feeling Kyle Pitts or quarterback would have went to the Falcons. Kyle Pitts went. Jamar Chase goes to Cincinnati. I called that. Let's see. Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith went back-to-back between the Dolphins and Lions. Penei Sewell went to Carolina. Trey Lance is a Bronco. The Cowboys were actually smart with their pick here and took Rashawn Slater, the tackle. And the Giants ended up getting Patrick Surtain. So that means in this mock here, J.C. Horn is available. Oh, boy. All right. So, being, I guess, that you're the only one in here right now, Birdman, unless there's others in the chat. I think you're the only one in here. But, so, let's see. And with you guys included, is J.C. Horn the pick here based on the evidence of available players, in your opinion?
Is it who would be next in line, if anything? If it's just Horn and who else?
So it says the best available right now is Mac Jones, but we got J.C. Horn, Micah Parsons, the tackle from Virginia Tech, Christian Darrisaw, Kalen Farley, Jalen Phillips, and then from there there's second round. There's kids that could go potentially in the second round. So Elijah Vera Tucker, Kwity Paye could be a first rounder. Christian Barmore, who was rumored at one point to the Eagles is still available. But if I'm making this pick with a minute left,
I'm hearing more.
if it's
I think. Go ahead.
no, so like if it's me, like I've said in videos before, for me it's either J.C. Horn or Patrick Surtain, whichever one is left at 12, and J.C. Horn's still available. So that's my pick. I would take J.C. Horn, but you're also in the call in, so your
Yeah,
opinion matters as
gonna
well.
go. Gonna go Horn. I believe there's more upside,
All right.
and I think that's the safest pick at that point.
All right, good deal. So it looks like the chat here is going to fulfill my wish in allowing us to take J.C. Horn. They're in agreement. So J.C. Horn, the corner out of South Carolina, is going to Philadelphia, and we're going to take him. Excellent. So we got our potential future number one corner. For now, he's going to be paired next to Darius Slay. We needed another outside corner, and arguably enough, we could take more than one outside corner in this draft. Just the way that our depth is right now, because it's not very good. So at 37, we are on the clock again. Oh, what is the pick at 37? So let's see. How did the rest of the board go? So Jamin Davis went to the Jets at 34. It's one of the linebackers. Kadarius Toney, Eric Stokes, Elijah Moore, JOK are all off the board. Christian Barmore went to the Browns. Rashad Bateman went as early as 22. Greg Newsome is gone. He went to the Colts. Caleb Farley is a part of the Washington football team. So let's see here. Oh, crap. Terrace Marshall Jr., the receiver from LSU, is still available. Oh, that is tempting. Rondale Moore is still available. Oh, man. I think, okay, good. So two of the linebackers are still available. So let's see. Two of the linebackers are actually still available. For those in the chat that see the comment that I have pinned on the stream right now, I did turn the stream into a call-in. We already have Birdman 951 in here, currently trucking, and he's still tuning in. So quite awesome to have that currently going right now. But right now the Eagles are on the board. The Eagles are on the board at 37, and there is quite the amount of potential here that we could take at this pick. Two of my linebackers are available. Asante Samuel Jr. is there. Oh, no. Pat Freiermuth is still on the board. So, if it's me, and despite liking Eric Wilson, the recent acquisition from the Vikings, I think he's gonna end up being a starter. He almost kind of has to be, being that this is Jonathan Gannon's defense, and his defense, a lot of his defense is going to be predicated on Mike Zimmer's system from the Vikings. So you got to have that familiarity with the system on defense. So I have to imagine that Eric Wilson's going to be a starter. Now, the question around him is his partner going to be Alex Singleton? Is it going to be TJ Edwards? Is it going to be Genard Avery? My guess is that it's going to be Singleton, but at the same time, we can still upgrade the linebacker position and try and get another starter for that defense, so long as they fit the scheme of Jonathan Gannon. So with that said, for me at 37, the pick is either a receiver or a linebacker. and the wild card is tight end because Pat Fryermuth is still available. You have a all right. So let me see. Birdman, do you got an idea on who you would want to take at 37 based on the available players?
This is call me crazy, but I think we should go linebacker and kind of shut up the whole thing about Howie and the Eagles don't like linebackers. Um, just because as much as I want a receiver, we got those number ones coming up next year, and we can hold on to that. But if these guys are who they say they are, we got to go linebacker.
Yeah,
And
I
what was
mean,
his name that you said?
yeah, I mean, I don't blame you either.
What
I
was
mean, there was I've already had cases personally where I felt that the first two picks, in my opinion, should be corner and linebacker. We can attest to the fact that Eric Wilson is still only on. He's on a prove it deal right now. He just finished, to my knowledge, he just finished his rookie contract. So right now he's only on the books for about $3.25 million. So outside of him, you got Alex Singleton on that. I think that designated contract, and so there's still question marks as far as the depth at the position goes. You can always look to improve. My guy at my guy at the linebacker position, and there's quite a few available. But in my opinion, like I know Baron Browning is still available, and he's a pretty damn good prospect for linebacker position too. He was talked about as a pretty good physical, athletic specimen in his own right. He's still available. Um, we still got Nick Bolton, who he might even fall to the third round. Jabril Cox. Jabril Cox is my guy. He's still available. And as far as we know, with this linebacker position for the Eagles, they could definitely use a lot more coverage-based linebackers. So if it's me, most of my mocks I have taken Jabril Cox when he was available, and I don't know. I might still stick there. So if we're on the same page with linebacker, I'm taking Jabril Cox. Is there somebody else that you have in mind that you feel could be as good of, or if not a better fit at the linebacker position?
I'm pretty much in agreement with you. If he's has all the measurements and that we need that we need to bring that fight. We need to bring the old school defense back of the Eagles. We need to bring that fear mongering we used to have. It seems, I mean, not that we don't have it anymore, but it just kind of seems to fade away, and a lot of the problem stems to we're just not being healthy. So we need to be a little bit. I hate saying that we're, but how many years now that we're always thin there? It's just we need that position to be strong, and then it's just help up these linebackers. Let's make you sure it up a little bit, and then Horn back there. We might be a little bit more formidable than what people seem to believe that we really are. We might solidify some spots right there. As much as it pains me, like but we have to figure something out with the defense because our defense has just been god awful in the backfield. I'm tired of seeing burnt toast. We're just getting burnt back there. So it's just
Yes, especially. I mean, as it seems, it's kind of like that we're building it kind of feels that we're trying to build a new regime on the defense. There's a lot of question marks. There's players that necessarily haven't really stood out, and there's even guys from the last draft class that we don't know. We don't know what we have in them right now. But um, based on the depth of position at linebacker right now, I feel that a guy like Jabril Cox would be a nice blend that will complement the skill sets, and that'll not only complement the skill sets, but will blend. That will kind of mask the deficiencies of some of these guys to where you know TJ, a guy like TJ Edwards, he's kind of known for being better with the run than he is in coverage. Alex Singleton can do a little bit of both, but he kind of prefers the run game. He's good. He's good on the blitz. When once in a blue moon that Jim Schwartz actually blitzed, for that matter, since he was so conservative with it and wanted to have a reliance on the defensive line all the time and creating pressure, in those games where he lived and died by the blitz, sometimes it came back to bite us in the ass. But when it comes to a linebacker like Jabril Cox, like I said, this is a guy that's going to mask some of the deficiencies in the defense. He's better. His position. He's better known as that really good coverage linebacker that you can trust him in man coverage. You can trust him in zone. He can cover receivers. He can cover tight ends. He can sift out some running backs in the backfield. But as of right now, I mean, yeah, he's not the greatest. He's not the greatest in run defense. He may have some issues with playing through contact, but where we are as a defense right now and what Jabril brings to the table, as far as an athletic standpoint, based on what Jonathan Gannon wants to bring to this defense, I feel Jabril Cox would be one of the better fits. So if you're good with it, I'm good with taking Jabril Cox again at 37 and go from there. So yeah, I mean, Cox does fill a need. If you haven't noticed, Big Play Slay, if you haven't noticed, like I was saying in the beginning, I kind of fulfilled, what you were, thinking of, and I turned the stream into a live call-in. So the link should still be in the comments unless I need to drop it again. I do have it pinned right now, but yeah, Cox fills a need. So we're going to take Jabril Cox here. So right now, right now with the way that this mock is going, it's honestly kind of my dream scenario. Realistically, my dream scenario the whole time has been being able to take Jaycee Horn and Jabril Cox. So fingers crossed that something like this can become a reality. So it looks like Asante Samuel Jr. actually went 67. He went 67 to the Jets. So let's see here. Let's go back and see who went where. The other underrated linebacker, Chas Surratt, actually got picked a spot before us at 69 to the Bengals. And other notable ones, the other good tight end, Brevin Jordan, went to the Jaguars. Nick Bolton lasted until the third round, like I called it. The Packers picked him up. Let me see. I want to know where Pat Freiermuth went. Creed Humphrey goes to the Steelers. Rondale Moore is a Cardinal. That's a good pickup for them. He kind of matches the He kind of matches. Oh. Yeah, but let me know. Let me know in the comments, everybody, if you need the link for the call in, if it's still on screen. If not, I can post it again if need be. This live stream did turn into a call in for these mock drafts. We're going to get some more of those going. Yeah, the last call in I did was pretty successful, so I wanted to treat you guys again and get you on the channel once more. So let me know in the comments. Like I said, if the link is still there, you can join up with me. We'll get some mocks going here. If not, I can post it once more. But I almost vomited. Not gonna lie, I almost vomited. If you guys can see on screen, they say the satanic star that is the Dallas Cowboys ended up taking Pat Freiermuth at 44. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Pat Freiermuth ended up going 44. Oh, them damn Cowboys. Oh, great. Oh, geez. All right. So it looks like we're at 70. All right, everybody. So what are we doing at 70 here? Where is my scouting department? What is going on? What is going on? I'm actually going to get rid of the stopwatch here. Let's see. Let's get back to this mock here. What are we taking here? Trey Sermon, a running back, is still available. Looks like there's some top tier linemen still available. Hunter Long. Kyle Trask is still on the board. So this is different. This is a different board here at 70. Do we take a safety at 70? I don't know. Do we take a safety at 70? I mean, there's a couple of them available. I'm not sure there. So let me see. So let me see. I'm going to post the. So I just posted the link again to join in on the stream. Got the call in going once more. Coming close to the 3-hour mark here. I'm probably not going to extend this stream as long as I did the last one. The last one ended up being 4.5 hours. So I'll probably condense it. a little bit more. Maybe I'll finish at the 3-hour mark. Kind of watch my numbers on StreamYard here as well. I think I can only have a max of 20. But let's see. We'll get back to the draft. Let's see. There's a couple of safeties up on the board here. Jamar Johnson from Indiana, Richie Grant. I think he's a favorite at the safety spot. Let me see. I've taken Tommy Togiai before, the D lineman out of Ohio State. I've taken him before. We could use some depth there. We have not taken a wide receiver yet. Speaking of, Dwayne Eskridge is still on the board. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Tylan Wallace is still on the board. The corner from Syracuse, Ifeatu. A lot of people like him. He's still available. Tyson Campbell, the corner out of Georgia, is still up there. I don't know if we take another corner here, though. Running backs, Michael Carter from North Carolina. He's still available. Wow. Trey Sermon. Trey Sermon is still available from Ohio State. Another good running back prospect. I don't know if we take one in the third round though. I don't think so. What do I want here? What do I want here? Not getting much feedback in the comments, so looks like I'm on my own for the time being. See, the safety position is odd because Rodney McLeod is trying to recover from that ACL injury. I think it was an ACL reconstruction. Got Kayvon Wallace, Marcus Epps. I don't know how Marcus Epps is still here. We just added. I think it's Adams. Yeah, Adams from the Buccaneers. He's just going to be primarily special teams. Anthony Harris. I don't know. This is a tough one here. I feel we can get away with the receiver at 70. We haven't taken one yet. I think we can take a receiver here at 70. Now, whether it be between Dwayne Eskridge, Tylan Wallace, or Amon-Ra St. Brown. Wow. Man, between these three, there are measurables here. Let me see. Man, this is a tough one for me. I know I don't want Dwayne Eskridge. I know I don't want him. I know it's not going to be him. These advertisements are blocking everything. You see, Jamar Johnson, Milton Williams. You know what? I might end up taking a receiver here. I might take one here. Yeah. It would help to have another decent pick at the position. I'm not sure. I do. Something tells me to take Tylan Wallace here. I might do it. I might take Tylan Wallace here at 70 and be done. I might do it. Unless I go another corner. Elijah Molden is still available. Kind of a shorter corner. He's only about 5'10". Nickel corner. No, I think I'm going to grab Tylan Wallace here at 70. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll shore up the receiver pick. And we'll see who is available at 84 since the difference is 14. Let's see. Kellen Mond. Kellen Mond is still available, quarterback. Don't think we're taking a quarterback this early. Let's see. Trey Sermon is still available. What do I want here? I think 84 would be a decent spot for a D lineman. to kind of help the depth. I think D line would be a decent spot. Jay Tefel, USC. Yeah. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing with this D line. You got Cox, you got Javon Hargrave. Between them, I think Hassan Ridgeway is behind them. So it's Raquan Smith, I think. So I don't know. I like D lineman here. I do like D lineman here at 84. Just to kind of help out Tracy Rocker, because I know if I go offensive lineman later, it's like the talent of Jeff Stoutland's so ridiculous. Like, it doesn't matter what you give him, he'll make a starting caliber offensive lineman out of whoever you give him. That's just how good Stoutland is. So I think I can work with Jay Tefel out of USC. He's got a good build to me at 6'3", 315. He's not too big. He's not too small. I think I'm good with D line as the pick here at 84. So let's go Jay Tefel. Help out the defensive front a little bit, and then that will eventually move us into the 4th round here, where we got some decent opportunities as well. And while that is going on, looks like Big Play Slay is coming in here.
What's up, Lindy?
What's going on, man?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, no big deal. Oh, geez, man, time is flying. I'm already close to 3 hours in on this stream. Another long one.
You're hitting more milestones.
I guess so. It's a little bit different though. The traffic's not as congested as it was for the first one, and respectfully so. There's some stuff going on YouTube and what have you, but appreciate those coming in here, and it was even cool to have Birdman in here a little bit, and the man is the man's getting his trucking business. He's getting his trucking business. He's doing this thing out on the road right now, and it was pretty cool having him in the stream, and somebody new to talk to. It's cool. So let's go. Let's get into this here. So at round 23, we'll make a recap as to our first 4 picks. So it's looking pretty good in my favor right now with my first 2. my dream first 2 round picks being J.C. Horn and Jabril Cox. I love that tandem. I end up getting it again. The only crappy part about this is that Dallas ended up taking Pat Freiermuth, and that was a good choice for them at 44. That would be.
Dang, man, that sucks. We don't think that actually happened in real life. That
would definitely be something to contest with, especially that tandem between Pat and Blake Jarwin. Jarwin's a decent tight end for them, and he's been battling injuries from time to time, but he shows from potential. So Dallas scenario's got a decent tandem now. They take Baby Gronk from Penn State at 44, but I think we're matching Dallas a little bit better in this case. So we still ended up getting a good receiver in the 3rd out of Tylan Wallace from Oklahoma State. We got our linebacker, we got our corner, and I ended up taking a D lineman in the 3rd round, Jay Tefel from USC, to kind of bolster bolster that depth a little bit. Tracy Rocker coming here, he's got a good background under him, but as we know, for as long as Jeff Stoutland has been here, we can trust to give Stout any prospect and turn them into a fringe starter. I mean, we just seen it with Jordan Mailata of all people, who was behind how many linemen in this case for about 3 years until he finally gets his chance. Kind of a blessing in disguise scenario with, Andre Dillard getting hurt, and then, this big guy, this big Australian comes out of nowhere and really puts on a show at that left tackle spot, especially when Jason Peters went down predictably. And it just goes to show the talent that Stoutland has as an offensive line coach at that position. It's just unbelievable. So at 84, we finally reached the 4th round. We addressed the corner, linebacker, receiver, and defensive line. Defensive tackle specifically, we addressed those positions. Man, so it looks like as far as best player available goes, there's still another D lineman here. There's a safety.
Andre Cisco?
Andre Cisco is still available. Cameron Sample, the edge out of Tulane, he's still there. He's a little bit bigger. Let's see. Patrick Jones the second. I've taken him before. The edge rusher out of Pittsburgh. I've taken him before in mocks. We could go edge here. We could go back-to-back defensive line between 84 and 123. We could do that.
To really hit on picks. I like that.
So wait a minute. So we did used to have back-to-back picks at 123 and 124, I thought.
Yeah, I think we do. I don't know if we traded that. Maybe.
Well, Washington actually has it now. Unless I'm missing something. What?
I guess it's a trade. I don't know.
It
says trades right there.
Yeah, I don't know here.
Or maybe it's probably in the later rounds.
I thought it was 123 and 124. I could be wrong. I could have sworn.
I have to fact check that.
Man, I could very well be having a mental block here, but let's see. Who else is on the board here? We can go. There's a trio of corners here. Trey Brown from Oklahoma, Sean Wade out of Ohio State, Rodarius Williams from Oklahoma State. They are still available at the cornerback spot.
And now I know what you were talking about. It's not the what is it called? The round that you're referencing. It's the 6th round where we have pick 224, and then we'd have pick 225.
That's right. Yep, 224, 225. That is correct. Let's see here. What do we got? I don't know. I think edge here. I think I'm okay with taking an edge here.
I agree.
Basing off the rest of the needs, I'm not convinced going running back here. We might not even see a committee. Tight end, I know I just talked about it, but I feel that we're gonna sign one of the guys that we lost to free agency, whether it be Josh Perkins or Richard Rodgers. Offensive tackle. We could take an offensive tackle this early. I just don't feel it's absolutely necessary. So let's go edge rushers. Let's see, Cameron Sample, Deo Odegbo out of Vanderbilt, Patrick Jones the second, which I'm kind of comfortable with taking Patrick Jones again.
Yes, he has the highest ceiling.
I have been before. I know I've taken him in I know I've taken him in other mocks, but I don't want to be repetitive here at the same time. But I think we'll stick with Patrick Jones for the moment. We'll take him here at 123. That'll complete our defensive tandem between 84 and 123 until we wait to the rest of the rounds. Wow, it is already 10 p.m. Eastern time. Wow.
Yeah,
Man,
it's
quick.
getting late.
Yeah, 3 hours. Chew, jeez. I was not expecting 3 hours, but I actually carried this as long as I could. All right, so now we reached 150. Okay, so the fifth round. Chuba Hubbard out of Oklahoma State, running back, 6', 207.
Ooh, Hubbard. He's there.
His best fit is in a committee as a number 2. He's got good size. I mean, we're talking at 6', 207.
I'm actually content with taking him here.
Let's see. Chauncey Golston. Chauncey Golston is still available, another edge rusher. We already took one. Could very well be a possibility that we take 2 corners. I mean, we could very well take another outside corner here. As far as BPA goes, Rodarius Williams is still available. He kind of fits that outside corner mold too. I mean, what is he? 6', 193. It's good outside size. I don't know. Yeah. Ambry, I remember Ambry Thomas. Yeah, I remember taking him as a. Yeah, I remember taking him because he opted out of 2020. 4-star recruit out of Michigan. I remember taking him in some of my mocks because I was intrigued with his potential.
For sure.
Let's see, Marco Wilson out of Florida.
He has weird size, in my opinion.
Let me see here.
Decent size for a corner.
Marco Wilson is also 6 foot. He's a 4-star recruit. The brother of Quincy Wilson. Let's see. I don't know. He seems to fit more the Jim Schwartz mold of a corner. Waiting like 5 yards until he establishes contact with the receiver. He did predominantly play in man coverage, but I don't think he's going to fit that Gannon kind of mold. You got Marco Wilson out of Florida. I think that's the same guy. I just looked at him. What the hell? Jeez, I just repeated myself.
Lindy, I'm going to head out, man. It was a great stream. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, sure.
Great content, by the way, if I haven't said that enough.
Oh, geez. Yeah, no, man. It's good. Turn into deja vu. But, yeah, no, man. I definitely, there's not much more I can say, but, I can just stay appreciative for all the support that, everybody's giving me to the channel, for that matter, just to be on here and devote this amount of time to people to actually watch the content. It's pretty humbling. So yeah, I appreciate it, man. It was good to have you on once again, and I'll catch you another time.
Yeah, YouTube is just it's an amazing community, to put your content out there and see what people are thinking, talk about things, have ideas. It's always great on YouTube.
Yeah, so I mean, so long as you're real, between your personal space and your social space, as long as you're real on both of those platforms, then that's what keeps your clout up. You can't be two different people on and off of YouTube, and it just doesn't work. Unfortunately we've seen that in a specific scenario that I'm not going to bring up, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. But yeah, man, good to have you on once again, and I'll have to keep you in the loop about what's going on for these the Mavericks and Lakers games, and hopefully with my with the different setup, if I can run OBS for a little more interaction with the scoreboard and that, I'll do it, and
Yeah,
we'll have
that's
some good play-by-plays for those games.
that's gonna be an amazing game, especially with the return of Anthony Davis. It's gonna be exciting.
So he is expected to play in those
Yes,
games. Okay.
it's gonna be minutes restrictions though. Probably
Okay.
for like 15 minutes of action, and then like sit for the rest of the half.
Man. Well, I guess we'll see what happens, because I don't think Dallas is
Yeah.
playing very well right
All right.
now.
See you, Lindy.
All right, man.
Take care, man.
Take care. Appreciate you once again.
Yep.
All right, that's that. So, I guess being that my stream actually carried a lot longer than I kind of expected it to, and it's by no means a negative whatsoever. But yeah, I got a work week to finish out. Like a lot of us do, whether it's school or that next step after these kids graduate and you get into the real world of having a job. But yeah, man, let's get through this. Let's get through this mock and close out this stream here. So let's see. After our prior pick at 123, we took two defensive linemen back to back between 84 and 123. So I kind of want to take a different approach here. I mean, a running back at the 5th round is not much of a stretch. We got Kylan Hill still available out of Mississippi State. He's got a decent build. He's on the shorter side. He's like 5'10". Comes around, he comes around the same. I think he comes around the same size as Miles Sanders here. He also fits as a number 2 back. And some of us have had those questions regarding if Boston Scott moving forward, if he should be that number 2 in the first place. I mean, Jordan Howard, whether we like it or not, is not a lock as the number 2. As he's said in his in a press conference or in a one-on-one, there wasn't a lot of offers. Teams weren't even calling him, and he thought about calling it quits. So maybe there's going to be some drive there in Jordan Howard's case to want to make an impact on this team. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to take another running back here, because we got so many on the roster to begin with. I mean, we're talking Elijah Holyfield. Elijah Holyfield is still there. Jason Huntley is still there. Adrian Killens just got signed for 2 more years. Jordan Howard's back. Miles Sanders, Boston Scott. I don't know. I have the feeling that the Eagles will end up going and taking another undrafted free agent. So I would probably I might want another corner here. I might. Not sure based on what's available. There's an LSU corner in Kerry Vincent Jr., 5'10", 189. Slot corner that can transition to free safety. Oh man. I don't know. Something's telling me to go corner here again. Especially another outside corner. I keep coming back to Radarius Williams. I keep coming back to Rodarius out of Oklahoma State. Got another good frame, 6 foot, 193. He kind of fits that mold of an outside corner. I think we can take another corner here. So let's go with Rodarius Williams out of Oklahoma State. So we're going to take him. So we end up getting 2 corners. We end up getting 2 corners in this draft, predominantly outside corners. It's just a glaring need right now. You know, we don't know we don't know what we got in, you know, Michael Jaquette. We don't know what we got in Kevon Seymour. For that matter, I don't think Blake Countess is on the team anymore. So, you know, moving on from there, we'll finish. We're gonna finish this mock out here, and then I'm gonna close the stream out. Gotta get myself to sleep to finish the finish the work week out. So we're at 189 here. We're in the 6th round. There's some receivers left on the board. There's another corner left. So for me, the pick here, I would think the pick here at 6 is going to be offensive lineman. So we have Jack Anderson is still on the board. It's got good size, comes in as a guard. And he could play right, so he can play right or left guard. 4-star recruit, came into Texas Tech. He's got a good build, 6'4.5" at 309. He seems to me as a kind of a eventual Brandon Brooks replacement. So I think I'm cool with taking Jack Anderson here for the O-line in the 6th round, so we'll take him. I think the next pick will end up being a tackle. We'll see how the rest of the board goes, especially the quarterback position. I think because there's a lot of people that would like a KJ Costello as a backup. I like the idea. So getting deep into the 6th here, 224 and 225. So picking back to back here. Looks like Chaz Surratt's brother is still available. He's a receiver for Wake Forest, and Sage. Looks like he's still available. Good size. He comes in at almost 6'3", 215. He would have been nice if we needed receivers. Talking about an ex receiver that can play in the slot. That'd be nice for this system here. Let's see who's still available. Lark, Jackson. Well, let's go to the position here. We'll go to tackle and see what the BPA is looking like here. Carson Green out of Texas A&M, 6'6", 319. Size of the prototypical tackle. Zone schemes. Multiple years on the practice squad. Another development guy. I mean, I think we're good. I think we can be okay with Carson Green here. From a developmental standpoint, for anybody on the offensive line, it's not going to matter. Not with us still having Jeff Stoutland. It's not going to matter. Let's see. Quarterback. KJ Costello is still on the board. It might even be a reach to take him right now. I think it's a reach to take him right now at 225. Ian Book is still available, Notre Dame quarterback. He's not really he's not really the prototypical quarterback that the Eagles look for. KJ Costello is closer to that. Guy at 6'5", he's a 4-star recruit. But I don't see us taking KJ here. I don't even think we can take him at 234. But well, let's see. Let's see if he's still there. I would think he'd still be there at 234. So we'll leave him there. As for 225, you know what? Let's see. I guess we can take a safety in the later rounds here. We can go with can grab Paris Ford while he's still here. He'd be a good selection. I'm not too worried about tight end. I feel we're going to sign one of our guys, one of our free agents. So 234 looks like KJ Costello is still there. He might even last till 240. But I'm just gonna go ahead and take him here at 234. We'll grab our number 3. Sam Ehlinger goes to. So it looked like Dallas ended up taking 2 quarterbacks. They snagged Felipe Franks and Sam Ehlinger. That was a bit weird. So let's see. It looks like we're going to round out the draft here at 240. Tight end and running back is left on the team needs. Yeah, I don't see tight end at all. I don't see tight end at all here whatsoever. So I guess we can snag a running back with what's left. We'll see what's left here as far as running back goes. Chris Evans, Elijah Mitchell, Daedric Mills. Man. Let me see here. Chris Evans out of Michigan. I'm not sure here. So BPA and based off of the build of Chris Evans, he's kind of the same to Miles, but in a way, coming in at 5'11", 216. Yeah, I think we can snag Chris Evans here. So that'll round. I think that'll round out. Yeah, that's going to round out this mock here. Unfortunately, I didn't necessarily get to do a legitimate one. Just based on the lack of audience for that matter. But at the same time, I do appreciate. I appreciate everybody coming in here. So we'll go over this mock again quick here, and we ended up getting my dream tandem at 12 and 37. I'm so happy. J.C. Horn and Jabril Cox back to back there. We got ourselves a receiver in Tylan Wallace at 70. Took a D lineman at 84, Jay Tufel. Edge rusher right after him. Kind of fills some needs. We actually get 2 outside corners on Rodarius Williams at 150. A lineman at 189, Jack Anderson. Carson Green, we take a tackle. 2 Texas guys. Paris Ford, Pittsburgh safety. We get ourselves the the favorite for a lot of Eagles fans as the number 3 quarterback in KJ Costello. Kind of fits that prototypical mold that Jeffrey Lurie likes. Those big armed quarterbacks. Kind of built like number 11 was. 6'5", 230 range. KJ Costello comes in there, the same thing, and then we get ourselves a running back to edge out the draft. So that is going to be the latest mock come up with here. No trades involved. I don't think we're going to spend all 11 either. But it is what it is. So yeah, that one is done. That one is out of the way. About 3 hours and 20 minutes into another live stream. Crazy timing. Man, I gotta appreciate y'all. For stopping in from time to time, coming in here, hanging out with me. Shout outs to Big Play Slade, Night Inks, Birdman. While he's still on the road right now. Scotland came in here. Fly Eagles TV. From the start. Appreciate all you guys just continuing to give me the support to continue to push on with this channel, and I give you guys the best that I possibly can every time I'm on here, and thank you once again. That's going to include this second long live stream, for that matter, that eventually turned into a call-in for about, I'd say, 35 minutes or so. Hopefully the next one I do will be a little bit more successful, but it'll come in due time. I know it will. But that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it for this stream. I'm hoping to get at least one play-by-play in for the Mavericks facing the Lakers. I know Big Play Slay is going to like that, being a Lakers fan. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. I went to a 4-day work week, so that gives me more time to do more with the channel. As far as my content goes, as far as even collaborations go, if you guys have any suggestions on who I should collaborate with next, let me know down in the comments, man. I'm open to just about anything. To help me get my just to help me get my name out there and whatever. And I obviously I do my part, but that'll be it, everybody. Once again, appreciate you guys coming in for this stream edition of getting a mock in there, talking some Eagles. There was some Maverick stuff in there, some random life lessons, but that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it for me. This has been Lindy End Zone once more. I don't even know if I should keep a slogan going, because I didn't even like my very first slogan, because some have said it was a bit too long, but but I guess I'll keep it at that. But once again, I'm Lindy End Zone. This has been another stream with your guy here. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care, and be a human being. Be kind, just remember to take care of each other. That's what being human to me is. And I'll catch you guys later, and take care.